My name's Jake, I'm 23 years old, I'm from Leeds. I joined the army when I was 17, straight from school.
My name's James, I'm from Leeds as well. I joined the army in 2004 at 17. Over the past 10 years I served in Bosnia, Iraq and Afghanistan twice, and I got injured on my second tour of Afghanistan. When combat troops deploy on the ground in, say, Afghanistan and Iraq, each person carries their own individual first aid kit. And in there you're probably going to have 2 first field dressings each. Then you're going to be carrying 2 morphine auto-injectors so you can administer morphine to yourself. You're going to be carrying 2 combat application tourniquets, which are tourniquets designed that you can actually operate with one hand in case one of your other hands is incapacitated. So you'll carry all this yourself, and everyone carries it in the same place now, and it's standardised on the right of your body armour. And it used to be you'd carry it in your pockets on your legs, but then when people get legs blown off, they're losing the first aid kit, so they moved it up the body. And everyone carries the same thing in the same place. If someone gets injured, you will use their first aid kit on them. And then if you need extra stuff, you'll take it from kind of a medic or something like that. You won't use your own stuff unless you really have to, because you might need that later on.
If something bad happens, everyone thinks they don't know what they're going to do, but when it actually happens, instinct kicks in and it just takes over and you just do what you need to do to keep the person alive.
I was on a foot patrol in a town called Sangin in Afghanistan, and I was 7th man crossing this little ditch, and I stepped on a device buried in the ground, and it detonated underneath me and took both my legs off initially. Within a minute I had these 18 to 22-year-old guys just on me plugging gaps. Heads popping up everywhere like meerkats all over me. There was someone at every point of me working on something to try and keep me alive. And then eventually the medic got up to me as well. He started giving me kind of IV fluids and talking to me and kind of doing all the proper checks and kind of respiratory checks and heart rate checks and things like that. And while that was going on, from Camp Bastion, which is the main British hospital, there's a medical emergency response team, or the MERT, which flies out and then tries to get to you as fast as possible. And the MERT, alternating the MERT carries like combat medical technicians, there's a few nurses, there's anaesthetists on there, there's a few doctors and things like that. As soon as the gate touches the ground, they run on a helicopter with me. They lower you onto a stretcher with like all kind of blue sterile paper, and as soon as you hit that, all the guys on the helicopter, all in like their long blue sterile gloves, these arms just come through like everyone's legs and start working on you as well. So then all your mates are trying to step over these arms to get off the helicopter so they can get back to what they needed to do. And it's at that point when I got a drill that goes into your shoulder and twist it in, and that's when they give you ketamine, which just, boom, just knocks you out. I woke up like 6 days later in the hospital in Birmingham.
Exactly a month before James got injured, I was in the same area, walking, just doing normal routine patrol. On the way back from the village, I was the last man of the patrol. I was rear protection. It just felt like someone just came up and gave me a sucker punch, hit me from behind. You know, he's a bit dazed, didn't knock me out. I land on my shoulder, I'm like that. My left leg below knee was initially just gone. My right leg was all twisted, bone, meat, muscle everywhere. Within a couple of seconds, my section was on me already, treating me, slapping me and all that, making sure I'm awake and all, having a laugh at me, you know, or you'll do all to get off tour and all that, you know, or you'll be home soon. They sent the quad bike out to come and get me. I was on the back of the quad. I remember them taking me into the medic's hut in the fob, doing some more treatment on me there, trying to keep me awake, talking to me. I was always just asking like, oh, what is it? How bad is it? You know, it's not much. You've only lost a leg. I thought, oh, nice one. Then a helicopter came. They took me out to the helicopter, and then all I remember is just seeing this woman in a green uniform with blonde hair. And then next minute, I have to put ketamine in me and I wake up in Birmingham. Recovery for me is probably from initially being injured to walking again. That was the key thing for me, to get up walking, being independent again, doing what I want to do, not what people are telling me to do, basically just being independent.
Recovery for me is just being fully independent, as back to normal as possible. Personally, if I was like still in a wheelchair now and I was still going through prosthetics and I was still trying to find that, I wouldn't class myself as recovered. But now, like 4 years down the line from injury, I live by myself, I've got my own place, I've got like a pet, and I've got like, I travel, and the fact I can fly to a different country and not need to take a wheelchair or walking aids or anything like that, and I don't need to check into disabled rooms. I'll just get a normal room, and I can, if needs be, I can just sleep in my car. And it's just these kind of, just being fully independent again and not having to worry about about relying on people for things, that's recovery for me.